I am in my 20s and have never dated anyone seriously. Most guys I talk to who seem interested at first find out that I don't want to make out until I know they are the one. But apparently, that is a huge turnoff for them. Guys tell me that making out helps you know if y'all are compatible, but I believe this is false. Making out makes you feel like you are in love, and I don't want to base a lifelong decision off of the crazy amounts of dopamine being released in my brain. I don't want to change my standards/boundaries, but at this point, I think I'm going to be single forever. What should I do? I mean, look, if you could either, this is what we should ask the question. This is the question for this week, guys.
Okay.
Would you rather make out with 100 people that you don't love, and be single and marry the wrong person?
Sounds terrible
after
so far.
100 people, or never make out with anybody and be single the rest of your life? Because nobody will. That's what this question is.
Say that again.
Okay, this girl is saying, look, Jordan, here's the question. Look, Jordan and Josh. Would I rather kiss 100 guys that I'm dating, whoever I'm dating in my life? Would I rather kiss 4 guys and pick the wrong guy because I was just making out with them and all this dopamine? So I married the wrong person. Or would I rather never make out with anybody and never get married because all the bad guys are...
Okay.
So just wanting to make out with them.
So the options are marry the wrong person or just... and realize you made a mistake.
By making out with 30 guys.
Or just don't marry anybody.
Because your standards are high and it's not right to make out with every guy that you're dating.
Okay.
That's a great question right there.
Feel free to respond to either question.
Yeah.
The genre of music thing or the make out thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I don't know. I mean, this pool of dudes is just horrible.
Yeah.
So what's up? I mean, like, we don't want to marry these people.
Yeah.
Don't make out.
That's how I feel about it too. It's like, I think maybe obviously it's fine if you don't want to make out with anybody, and I'm guessing that you just haven't met somebody who makes that kind of thing interesting to you. That the prospect of that will be attractive to you once you meet the right person.
Right.
But you don't have to feel like a weirdo or whatever because you don't want to, it's not this all powerful, important thing.
But to these
everybody
guys,
needs to calm down.
To these guys, it's all that matters. That's the question you have to ask yourself. Is it worth it to be single forever if you don't make out with all these creepy guys?
No. I mean, yes.
It's her choice.
Jordan, do you remember the Rocket Town Girls?
The Rocket Town Girls. Is that a band?
No, there were girls we met at Rocket Town one time. And you remember they were making you feel weird? I remember being very protective of you one time when you were probably, I don't know, 12 or 13. And they were saying they wanted to make out with you or something. And I stepped in, I was like, what's going on over here? They wanted, and then I don't know how, but they found me at the mall where I was working, and they came to the mall and they were just like, yeah, I was just making out with that guy over there.
Yeah, I do remember them. I kind of remember what they look like.
Yeah, I know.
One like they looked like cartoon characters.
Yeah.
Well, Rocket Town people normally did. But it was like one was smaller and one was bigger.
No, well,
right?
One was taller and one was shorter.
Yeah, that's what it was. One was taller and one was shorter, and they looked like cartoon characters.
Yeah. Yeah. They just... I
remember them.
They were...
But they were like weird, sincere, but like just on the wrong track.
I know. That's how I felt too. So I tried to talk to them.
Yeah.
Because they didn't feel like lost causes. And they were our age.
You just feel bad for them.
Yeah, but it was just so weird. I just remember being whatever age I would have been at that time, 15, 16 years. I guess if I was working at the mall, I was probably like 16. Just thinking that was so weird. This girl, the shorter one was younger. I want to say she was probably your age. So she was probably like 12 or 13. She's like, yeah, I was just making out with that guy over there for a minute, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, the guy you just met? Some guy you just met?
Yeah, it's going to get much worse than that.
That was so strange to me. I wasn't like... scandalized. I was just confused. I was like, why would you do that?
I actually remember us befriending them to some extent. I think that we were friends with them later, like on MySpace a little bit or something.
Maybe. I just remember seeing them at Rocket Town, and then for some reason I saw them at the mall.
I remember that story. I remember you coming home and saying, wow, remember those strange people. They were at the mall randomly and they were like kissing people. I was like, what are you talking about, dude? No, I do remember because they were a conundrum. They're like the embodiment of a person on messages who a question is written about. But they're confusing because they were both bad, but they were sincere and nice, and you felt bad for them.
Yeah.
But they were just completely
They
on the wrong
seemed
track.
harmless, but just
Yeah,
they didn't have parents or something.
exactly.
I don't know.
And you didn't know what
They were just
how to think about it.
they were like 14, 15-year-olds, were just always like on their own. I don't know who.
Yeah, it was
they
weird.
weren't siblings. They were just friends.
They
It
were
was
friends.
very strange.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, that was an interesting time. Why were we talking about that?
I don't.
Oh, the
maybe-
message.
Anytime
yes.
I hear the word "make out," I just remember that moment.
I don't. That's so funny. I haven't thought about that in forever. Wow. Okay.
It was weird.
Well, just don't get married if you got to make out with 100 guys at Rocket Town to do it,
Yeah,
to do business.
to do business. Yeah,
Great answer, Josh.
Don't worry. Don't forget these guys. If you don't want to
Yeah.
make out, you don't have to make out. Okay. One day, I'm sure you'll love it. But don't worry.
Not like this.